Hey everyone. So, a few months ago, I started creating this video game. Basically, in my game, you control a ball, and you try to not fall into a hole or get hit by the red enemies. Right now, your only objective is to reach the tiny floating bean at the end of the level. Very original, right? My game only has one level, which means it's time to make more. So now it's time to build a bunch of new levels and fix all the bugs in the game. Let's do this. Except, I ran into a slight problem. These creepy lines suddenly appeared on my laptop screen. I tried everything I could, but couldn't really fix the issue. My only option was to plug in an external monitor. Well, you know what that means. Well, that was fast. Let's get started. Of course, I had to download all the necessary software. I also copied over my game on this machine. So now we're all set up. Let's build a video game. And obviously, the game was working perfectly fine. So the first thing I did was change the win condition because this bean kind of sucks. So I hopped into Blender and tried to make something that looks cool, something that you want to smash into to win the game, until I realized that I have no idea what I'm doing. So, after thinking for a while, I concluded that rolling the ball inside a hole was a much better win condition than smacking into a random object. Oh, and this definitely wasn't copied from any other game. Totally not. My hole in Blender was looking pretty bad, so I just made it in Unity. So now, when your ball enters this weird box, you win the game. Nice! So then I played around with the main menu to make it look a bit better. I also added this how to play section. It explains in detail how to play this extremely complex game. My settings menu is still looking very empty though, so let's fix that. So I made a volume slider and a graphics quality dropdown. Pretty cool. Then I decided to change one of the main features of my game. Before, I thought the player could collect stars in every level to gain extra credit, but then I realized that's boring. So I destroyed that feature and replaced it with a simple timer that tracks your fastest time to complete each level. I think trying to beat yourself is much better than trying to collect a couple of stars. As I was working on the game, I noticed that it was getting pretty thick. We all know what that means. Let's destroy some useless files. Now that's much better. It's almost time to make more awesome levels for my game, but before that, I'm gonna fix all of the animations. Wow, look at that. That was pretty smooth. I also added more text options for my loading screen and double-checked my code. Alright, let's build some levels. So, this is the design for level 1. There are only 2 areas where you can fall off the map, which makes this level much easier. If the game was too hard, all of the noob gamers would quit on the first level. We definitely don't want that. Then I added a couple of movable cubes just to annoy you a bit. Boom, level 1 is complete. And yes, I did finish it on the first try. That's just how cool I am. I'm gonna speed this up because I'm sure you must have tons of other things to do. In level 2, there are more areas where you can fall off, but there are still little walls to guide you around. And guess what? Now, the movable objects are fat. You'll quickly learn that it's almost impossible to move the fat cubes. In level 3, it's time to step things up a notch. Now, there aren't any walls that protect you from falling. If you can't control your own speed, then that's too bad for you. I also created a little bean. Then I turned it into a movable obstacle and copied it a few times. Also, I made the last platform super skinny. Good luck getting across that one. Let's see level 3 in action. In this level, you have to shove the fat balls out of your way. But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't move that fat cube. I'm starting to think this level's impossible. Well, whatever. Let's move on to level 4. In this level, you can go up and down, so I started by creating a little ramp. Then I made it a bit thicker, or else you'd fall off all the time. I put a couple of ramps along the main path, then I added a bunch of stuff to get in your way. And yes, the red stuff kills you. Sadly, I forgot to record myself playing this level. Just pretend that you saw me finish it, okay? By the way, did you notice something that all of my levels have in common? Yeah, me too. They could all use a bit of spiciness. So I created this awesome particle system by using Unity's particle system. Now, purple stuff comes out of the basket and blue stuff comes out of the ground. Yeah, let's just say that this makes the levels much cooler, okay? Alright, time to make level 5. In this level, I introduce movement. So now, some platforms move back and forth by themselves without you touching them. Isn't that crazy? Alright, let's do this. I didn't make this level too hard, since it's the first time that you'll encounter moving objects. I really like the part at the end, but I think it might be a bit too hard. So I made the last platform a bit thicker, which makes it harder to fall off. Level 5 is complete. Hey, do you hear that? Yeah, me neither. You know what this game needs? Music. Now, I could just use the power of the internet to try and find some music online, but that would be a bit boring. So it's time to create my own music. I know what you're thinking. Do I even know how to create music? Well, no, I don't. But come on, how hard could it be? I'm creating my music with GarageBand because it's a free software and, well, I have no money. So let's create a new project and see how it goes. I was able to create a prototype song pretty quickly thanks to the library of free sounds. It's essentially a bunch of sounds that you can use in your projects for free, which is pretty cool, especially for somebody like me who doesn't really have the time to learn how to play an instrument. And for those of you out there who think that it's cheating to use pre-recorded sounds in your songs, well, please get a life. Anyway, I managed to create 4 different songs. I think that's enough for now. Okay, cool. So let's import these songs into my Unity project, and now I can use my scripts to play the song. Awesome. Creating music was fun, but let's get back to making some awesome levels. In level 6, I created a path made up entirely of movable objects. I also added 3 moving platforms, because why not? The path at the end is very narrow. Try not to fall off. Well, this level is definitely the hardest one so far. I kept dying, and dying, and dying, and dying. Well, you get the idea. Let's not even talk about what happened here. Anyway, no more easy levels. It's time to separate the noob gamers from the pro gamers. By the way, I don't really like the black platform materials, because it's hard to tell how big or how far away each platform really is. So I tried to make some kind of grid-shaped material, but yeah, that didn't really turn out so great. Well, you know what they say, if you can't make it yourself, then just get it on the internet. So I imported these grid-shaped materials, then I started applying them to the platforms. Now it's very easy to tell how big each platform is, even from far away. Here's level 3 with the reskin. I also moved over the big cube a bit, because otherwise the level wasn't possible. Here's the new and improved version of level 4. And this time, I didn't forget to record myself playing it. So at first, just shoved the big bean into the small red balls to get them out of the way, and the rest of the level isn't that hard. Alright, now let's make level 7. I thought it would be pretty cool if in this level you only went in a straight line, so I created a super long platform. Then I added some moving platforms, a bunch of movable obstacles, and of course, a few red enemies. With 6 different sections, this is definitely the longest level I've created so far. Alright, let's try and beat this one. The beginning is fairly easy, all you have to do is go straight. This is my favorite part of the whole level. I think it's funny how you just go up and down. These little obstacles right here are only meant to slow you down. Try not to let these fat beans push you off the path. Oh yeah, something weird happened at the end of the level. Watch closely. Did you see that? I got hit by an enemy, but then still rolled into the basket, which made me win the level. That's some bad programming right there. Anyway, it's time to build level 8, the final level, the ultimate challenge. And in this level, you're always on the same platform. So I made this giant square thingy. Then I started placing a bunch of walls and movable obstacles to get in your way. I also created this red bean that moves back and forth. This is the level layout for now. There are so many red enemies that can kill you in one shot, which makes this level the hardest one I've created so far. Alright, let's try to beat this thing. Obviously, I was dying a lot. So many times. At a certain point, I just started spotting myself further in the level to see if the ending was possible. I really like this last part. You're supposed to push the green ball into the red balls to break the line of enemies so you can go through. Well, I never managed to finish level 8, but I'm sure it's possible. Overall, I'm very satisfied with the progress made in my game. A few weeks ago, this game only had one level. Some game features weren't working properly, and of course, there were a lot of glitches in this game. Way too many. Now, this game has 8 new levels. I also added some of my awesome music. I added a few more features to my game, like the settings menu and the game timer. I fixed many glitches in the game along the way. Sadly, the levels are still looking a bit bland, even with the particle systems. Soon I'm going to add decorations to all of my levels. Oh, and I still need to come up with a name for this game. Then I'll wrap things up and publish the game. Finally. It feels like I've been working on this small game forever. Anyway, I'm not sure why you decided to watch this video till the end, but yeah, bye.